here at the Lalit Kala Academy in Chennai today, where we are presenting one of our primary shows titled It's Time to See, to be Seen. This is a curation of photographic practices by women from across the world. It is also a curation that looks at not women artists as a genre, and this is not a chronological amassing of work by women in this field. By claiming space through the diversity of their practices, this curation presents and re-emphasizes the role and creative approaches by photographers, visual artists, publishing initiatives, and collectives.
It's not just about making the image and getting the project out there. It's about so much more. And I think for me, my work often stems from an emotional space. And I like to carry that emotion through all my bodies of work. I also feel like that they are not entirely disconnected from each other. I spoke about this before, even in Champion and in Shaheen Bagh. I'm very interested in how women are using their bodies as tools of resistance. Also, these camps are located in states like Haryana and Punjab and Uttar Pradesh, which are states that are known for their very high rates of crimes against women, female infanticide, child marriage, and within these larger geographical places are these camps where women are training to be wrestlers and boxers.
So I started having conversations with local people in Chandigarh and how they had photos of their parents, people who have born and brought up in Chandigarh, and their family photos, grandparents, parents always had these picnics in the garden in the morning during winter season when it's really cold and the bright sun shines. You sit in the garden, you have your picnic, and everybody had those memories. So I went through a lot of those photos, and that is where my curiosity started to recreate those photos and recreate those memories using staged images.
What is the idea of celebrity culture? And I think a lot of it is also very interesting here in Chennai, where there are also some temples for actors and all of that. And I was thinking, okay, it's a very interesting phenomena around celebrity culture. And I was like, let's make somebody who we don't know a celebrity.
This work is inspired by Joyce Frockiger's question: what can we learn about the Indian goddess, her agency, her limits, her desires, and her interactions with humans? Goddess does not exist in isolation. She is recreated every day by those who seek her blessings, and importantly by men who sculpt, adorn, and create her. In my work, she challenges the myth of the free woman, an ideal as elusive as it is demanded. The goddess is never just seen, she's staged, prepared, presented to the world, just like how we do so. And we negotiate our visibility daily. The goddess is never free, neither are we.
In this project, I return to the earth to portray Palestinians not as fragments of conflict, but as whole, rooted souls in their natural place. I do not lift them from their land to fit a distant gaze. I show them as they are, the quiet guardians of soil and olive trees, those who speak the language of the wind and tend to the ground with hands that remember. They are not just a people in resistance. They are the pulse of the land itself. To the outside world, let this be known. Palestinians are more than the shadows of war.
I started this work about 4 years ago, where heat waves were not so much so in the conversation. There were some articles here and there, but what actually led me to do a lot of this work was also that I was, as a journalist, as a practicing journalist, I was really irritated by this very idea of the headline of 112 people dying of heat. So the project, even though it began with documenting physical heat and how it impacts women's bodies and why it leads to somebody's death.
This is my project Zugvögel, which is about farm workers in Germany. I chose to photograph them behind the curtains because the first time I saw them, They were staying in containers. I also like the idea that we don't know the people behind our food, the people who pick our food, the people who are responsible that we even have all that food.
So a lot of these threads that came together really made this exhibition worthy of the title itself, that it's time to see, to be seen.
This work has been inspired by African civilization long time ago. A specific one called the Kingdom of Kush, which is a Kemet civilization. The African pharaoh, priestesses, and oracle who used to exist before colonization appeared.
In the curation, it was also important to look at the wider history of feminist collectives, not just from the first wave of feminism, but in contemporary spheres.
We've made this project Putting Ourselves in the Picture, which this was the first edition, and we're working with a group of refugee and migrant women across the UK, about 21, 22 people. Life between here and where they come from. This one, you know, with very simple text and image, like collaged, how they're feeling about the new life. And here it's like, again, pictures from home. This is a favourite dish. And then more constructed things where somebody's, you know, actually created this constructed image about self and identity.
The idea behind the shared room is to actually share practices of different artists we've engaged with, artists whose work we align with, or artists who we've worked with to develop projects, develop bodies of work and book forms as well. So it's a real pleasure to create this mini room within the larger exhibition that looks at practices of women photographers and practitioners working with bookmaking. We have quite a few artists here who are looking at intersections of film and photography, film and bookmaking, sculpture and bookmaking, including my own work, which looks at intersections of mapping, drawing, and photography, of course.
My name is Anne Griffin, and I'm a book graphic designer from Switzerland, and I'm very grateful to be invited to Chennai to do this workshop. The idea is to produce a book dummy, which is being printed right now. The opportunity to do this with Anshika was amazing because we have two different approaches to making books, but we kind of agree on the main things. So doing this together was very nice.
I mean, me being a representative of the German Cultural Institute, of course, we contributed to German-speaking artists. One is Kiki Streitberger and the other is Hannah Cook. But when we looked at choosing the artists, it was more about how do we actually create an exhibition that showcases the diversity of, and I know we're not supposed to say it, but it still is female photography, because photography, everyone still associates it with male photographers.
With my work, Ada Versus, with my video work, I thought it was an outing, and it was nothing like it. So it was my career boost in the end. It took me to India, and I'm very happy about it. I mean, I would have thought when I made this video that something like that could happen, and I experienced an art world which is very embracing and welcoming and full of solidarity, and I would have never noticed this art scene, this side of the art scene, when I wouldn't have become a mother.
Hi, I'm Ruchira Das, Director Arts India at British Council. I'm here at Chennai Photo Biennale 4th edition, and it's wonderful to be here. I've just seen this fabulous exhibition that presents perspectives of women in photography, and we as British Council are delighted to be able to support and bring together these showcasing our works of talented UK and Indian artists like Hannah Fox and Bhumika Saraswati, and fostering cross-cultural exchanges through residencies and workshops, and we hope to continue to champion the power of art to connect communities and spark meaningful dialogue.